Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your horoscope for October 2024. Thanks for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. I'm in the UK, so I base my horoscopes on the UK time zone. And please watch them in this order: rising sign first, then sun sign, and finally your moon sign. So I'm going to break October down into 4 weeks, go through each one, and I want to pay particular attention to what the moon is doing and what areas of your life it supports you and on what days specifically. So week 1, Tuesday the 1st to Sunday the 6th of October. On the 1st, we have the moon in Virgo, and that's in your ninth house of the higher realms and education and travel, but it's also on your midheaven, which is your work. So the moon in Virgo allows you to understand and to create meaning. So future plans, where you're at in your working life, that'll be crystal clear on the 1st of October. Then it being the moon, it moves into Libra on the 2nd and 3rd of October. And on the 2nd of October, we also have a new moon in Libra, which is a solar eclipse. So a new moon in itself is when the moon goes pitch black. It pulls in a lot of energy in order to recharge itself for the next 28-day cycle. And it's pulling all this Libra energy into your 10th house of career, which means the 2nd and 3rd are going to be amazing for you in terms of work connections and working with other people and connecting to other companies and expanding your work, right? So because this is an eclipse, and have a look at the video because I go into a lot of detail there, if I've said that already. But because the new moon is interrupted, that energy is available for about 6 months. So Capricorn, for you, the area of work in the next 6 months looks really fabulous, not just in October, but beyond. And anything that involves working with other people or travel or anything like that is really, really massively supported. On the 4th, 5th, and 6th, we've got the moon then going into Scorpio in your 11th house of hopes and dreams, and it's next to Venus in Scorpio. So on the most intimate, deep core level, you're going to understand what you want in life, how your job is going to help you get there, and how you can create this wonderful dream that you've been imagining for however many years. There's a real sense of, this is going to work out. I know where I'm at now. I have the strength to do it, and I can't wait to get going. It's super positive. So the houses that the moon moves through in the first week are your 9th, 10th, and 11th. And that's all pretty much near the top of your chart. It has to do with work, growth, and really how meaningful your own work is in sharing something with the world where you feel like you're making a genuinely positive impact, but then also how that work benefits you and how you can kind of manifest this life you have envisioned for yourself. So the first week of October here for you, Capricorn, is incredibly motivating. And if you haven't felt that motivated lately, it really comes in and supports you here at the beginning of the month. Week 2, Monday to Sunday, 7th to 13th of October. On the 7th and 8th, we have the moon now in Sagittarius in your 12th house of spirituality, and it's next to your transiting ascendant and transiting palace. So you're going to get some sort of message from spirit that gives you a new direction, a new goal to work towards. And it could be an existing hope and dream that you've had, and now you're getting the information of how to realize it. Or you're being given something from source that you haven't even considered. And by pursuing that, it could be a hope and dream that you weren't even aware of. So the beginning of the second week, kind of very spiritual. If you meditate or anything that gets you in the zone, walk in nature, peace and quiet, try and do that on the 7th and 8th because you'll get kind of an upgrade destination that you can move towards. On the 9th and 10th of October, we have the moon now going into Capricorn into your sign in your first house of self, and it joins Pluto in Capricorn. So this is interesting because you're going to feel very comfortable here unraveling things in yourself that no longer work, that you're unhappy with. So for instance, if you're a smoker and you haven't wanted to smoke, then this is like that moment of, I'm actually going to do something about this and stop. Or if it's something in terms of the way you eat or the way you overwork yourself or something that you do to your own physical being that's actually harmful, you're able to recognize it and let go of the hold on it and let it pass on into the past. So you're able to free yourself of things that put you under a lot of pressure that are kind of self-imposed to a certain degree. On the 9th of October, Jupiter, the lucky planet, it retrogrades until February 2025. And when an outer planet retrogrades, the energy is expressed internally. So Jupiter is good luck, 21 is 3, communication, new beginnings, and Gemini is talking, right? Or communicating and finding solutions. So in your 6th house, you're going to get a lot of ideas in October, but also for the next 6 months or 5 months until the planet goes direct again. What you could do differently in your career and who you could connect with that you haven't connected with, and how the whole thing could grow even more. So Capricorn, you've got a really good 5-6 months ahead of you when it comes to your working life. So make sure that you're on the right track, doing something that you actually enjoy. On the 10th of October, we've got the moon in its 2nd quarter, so it's waxing, it's becoming bigger, moving towards the full moon in Aries on the 17th of October. And on the 10th, it's again in Capricorn in your 1st house of self. So the ability to really let go of something that is very, very difficult to let go of, that seems almost impossible, like for instance, an addiction or a behavior. On the 11th and 12th of October, the moon moves into Aquarius, and it goes into your 2nd house of money and securities and physical belongings. So this is wonderful in terms of ideas into how to increase your own income, how to work differently, how to do something that you're genuinely proud of and that rewards you in return. So if you're someone who's not particularly thrilled in your current working situation, consider alternatives around the 11th and 12th of the month, and you'll get a lot of ideas. Pluto goes direct on the 11th as well. Pluto went into Aquarius in January, right? Which is a great fit as far as I'm concerned, because it's the rebirth of ideas. Pluto is back in your sign, Capricorn, September, October until the 12th of November. And that's the last time it's going to stay in your sign. It moves then into Aquarius pretty much for the next 20 years. So for you in particular, it's now a final ditch effort to let go of things that are harmful, that have a genuine presence in your life, but that you don't want to have a presence in your life. Could be a toxic relationship or a location you live in that just really isn't suitable for you. But for some reason, there's been a payoff and you haven't been able to let go. Use this last kind of, 2-month or 6-week period we've got left of Pluto in Capricorn to kind of flush those things once and for all. Oh, and with it going direct, like I said with Jupiter, the energy is expressed inwardly. Pluto going direct means that there are new things that can be built and vice versa destroyed. That's the thing about Pluto, because it is so extreme. Do I build it and destroy it? And it's almost like, aren't they the same thing? So use that to kind of detox, I would say, and try not to overcomplicate it. It'll be much more rewarding when it goes back into Aquarius in your 2nd house on the 19th of November. And that's a period where it's likely that Capricorns are going to make a lot more money or have a greater influx of money. Okay, and then on the 13th, the moon goes into Pisces, and it does that in your 3rd house of communication. So that's a day where you're going to be very calm and forgiving and feel like you have a greater plan and you have faith that this is going to work out. So that's a nice day to just enjoy that sense of well-being and to take a bit of a break and to relax and to recharge your batteries. So in week 2, the houses that we covered are the 12th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Okay, so that's almost quadrant 1. So this is about, I'm listening to my spiritual guidance. It's making me see myself differently, as in I'm able to lighten the load here. And that's going to make it much easier moving forward, using my ideas to create more of an income, or an income that feels more aligned with who I truly am. Week 3, Monday to Sunday, the 14th to 20th of October. On the 14th and 15th, we still have the moon in Pisces. So that whole part of the month is good to kind of recharge and to feel comfortable with this new plan that you've got in place. On the 16th and 17th, it goes into Aries in your 4th house of family. So around that time, there could be some conflict with family members. Like you wanting to do something and having all these ideas, and maybe they don't understand what you're doing, or maybe they're even against it. So stick with what you feel is important and right to you, and be cautious about what you express to who, especially if you know that the response is going to be overwhelmingly negative. Then I would suggest you just protect yourself from that. Particularly on the 17th of October, when we have the full moon in Aries, I think that's when friction could kind of come to a breaking point. And we also have Venus ingressing into Sagittarius on the 17th. And in your case, it does that in your 12th house. So you see, the thing is, you're going to be very connected to the higher realms, almost to the point of where you're a visionary, right? You can see things other people can't here in October. It makes sense that if you then have these plans and other people don't have the vision to understand them, that they may seem outlandish. So if people try and poo-poo your dreams or put you down or something because they don't get it, don't just ignore that and go with what you've discovered here about yourself. On the 18th and 19th, the moon goes into Taurus and it goes into your 5th house. So even though there was friction in family relationships, when it comes to love and romance, the 18th and 19th are amazing, especially in terms of physical intimacy as well as emotional intimacy. So if you and a partner can do something unconventional, go somewhere where you can spend a lot of time together, you'll have a great time. Being out in nature would be great. But also, if you're a Capricorn and you're single, like putting yourself out there, doing something you enjoy in public where other people may bump into you, it's a good day for new relationships. That's quite a turnaround from the day before. Family friction and then a new love. That's kind of extreme and unusual. And then on the 20th of October, we have the moon going into Gemini, and it joins Jupiter in your 6th house of work. So on this day, you may have even more ideas about what could be done to realize your hopes and dreams, your work, and how to perfect that whole process. So in week 3, the moon goes from your house 3, then into 4, 5, and even 6. So that is, what do I love to do in terms of my work, and how am I going to manifest that? And then also, who do I love? And if you've had a ton of friction with family, I'm sure you still love them, but you may be less interested in terms of spending time with them then a day after or two to avoid the stress. But you really get an understanding of, what kind of person do I want to be with? So it could be that, certain things that happen in the common family conflicts then make you realize that this isn't what I want in relationship. I want this instead. And because you're more specific and the planets support you here, you could really have a great and surprising person showing up if you go on a date. So really try and build that in. And it's almost like then leaving certain familial connections that are uncomfortable in order to replace them by creating new ones with people you meet as an adult. Okay, week 4, Monday to Wednesday, the 21st to 31st of October. So this is 10 days. On the 21st, we still got the moon in Gemini. So still great for bringing that in. Relationship-wise, what I love to do in work and considering that. On the 22nd and 23rd, the moon moves into Cancer in your 7th house of relationships. So again, you're going to be more focused on love and romance and your personal relationships than you are in relationships with family members or business relationships. So if you have the time, great. But if not, then make sure you still meet all your obligations when it comes to work and family. On the 22nd of October, we have the sun going into Scorpio. And that goes into your 11th house of hopes and dreams. And again, similar. I know absolutely, as a Capricorn, what I want, what kind of life I want to build. And woe to anyone who tries to dissuade me from that. It may be unconventional, but this is my dream and I'm entitled to live it. So any Capricorn who always has a lot of people on their backs or is being controlled or told what to do because of the family or the tradition you have an opportunity to break out of all of that in October and really build your dream, no matter what other people think of it, which I always love. I find people who are brave enough to do that and to say what they think and to build what they want, even though it may seem unconventional or garish or weird to other people. I just love that confidence to not let potential or even real backlash stop you from doing what you love. I have such respect for that. Let me know what you think there. 22nd, yeah, the sun goes into Scorpio. On the 24th and 25th, the moon goes into Leo, and that goes into your 8th house of institutions. If you have to make public presentations in front of hundreds of people, or you're a leader or a boss, these 2 days, 24th and 25th, are the best days for you to be in the spotlight and to express what you're thinking, because you will go down very well. It'll be charming. You'll find the right words, and you have an ease when it comes to leadership and educating other people in that sense. On the 24th, the moon is in its 4th quarter. It's waning away towards becoming a new moon. So you have the perfect kind of leadership style here on these 2 days. So if it's in work, you'll have a great time getting employees on board. But if there are other things in your life where you are in a leadership role, you know, like your local council or whatever, anything where you can put yourself out there and even go out on a limb a little bit, it's very likely to go in your favor. So do as much as you can in that area during those 2 days. On the 26th, 27th, and 28th, the moon goes into Virgo, and that's in your 9th house of education and travel and the higher realms. So 2 things are great for you, Capricorn, on the 26th, 27th, 28th. Exploring, traveling, and exploring the world. It'll make you feel like you know more and you're more grounded. But also finding a new subject to study or further study on an existing subject that you're familiar with. Those 3 days are really good for you to really just get to the nitty-gritty, to absorb the detail and to know more. You know, even then, you know, if you consider what happens with family conflict, it might be you pick up a book on how to manage interpersonal conflicts effectively or something. Like, you're in learning mode basically. You'll want to absorb it like a sponge. Then at the end of the month, the 29th, 30th, and 31st, we've got the moon going into Libra. And again, the end of the month is great for you in work. So Halloween, maybe have a work party or something, but I don't think you're going to be particularly interested at the end of the month in a bunch of festivities. I think you're making such good inroads in your career that you'll want to keep doing that. So play it by ear, whatever your preference is, but you can do really, really well in work at the end of the month and you'll enjoy it. So I hope that gives you an idea of, oh, hang on, let me see, the last houses the moon touched in the last week. So wait, starting on the 21st, it was in your 6th house, and then it moved all the way over to your to your 10th house. So it's pretty much quadrant 3, but it includes houses 6 and 10 as well. Okay, so this is really the work that I do. Who do I want to work with, and what do I have most expertise in? Where do I feel like I can learn and grow, and what kind of people can I work with? That's really what this last week is all about. Like, I want to perfect my working situation in my life so that the content is right, the company is right, the people I work, because I want that to be something. If I work, 8 hours a day or 10 or 12 or whatever, I want that to be enjoyable for myself. So any tweaks you want to make to your career, do it here at the end of October. You'll be very pleased with the outcome. So I hope that gives you an idea of what you'll be working with in October. Have a look at some of my other videos. I do videos on the new moon, on the full moon, the eclipses, and I also do a daily tarot reading on this channel. Please become a member to watch that. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via the website, gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to order your reading with me, and I can draw up your birth chart using your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then please order a chart rectification with me. That's a process where I work it out manually, and that's important because the chart changes every 4 minutes. And I hope you have a wonderful October. All the best. Speak to you soon.